Have you ever bought something only to find out later that the warranty doesn't cover what you thought? Warranties aren't just about repairs. They define responsibility, timelines, and risk. Getting them right can protect your business, and getting them wrong can leave you paying the price. I'm Mike, founder of Starlit Contracts, where we help you to negotiate and use contracts with confidence. We're looking at warranties in this video. Now let's get into it. A warranty is a commitment that's made by someone who sells a product, it might be the manufacturer or some other vendor, that the product they sell to you or the service they provide will be of a certain standard. And how does it work in practice? A warranty commitment can be expressly written in a contract as a contractual obligation, and they can also be set out in the law. If there's a defect in the product or service during the warranty period, then it's typical for a supplier to either repair or replace that defective product or to reperform the defective service. Is this something that you should care about? Having clearly defined warranty obligations is in the interest of the supplier and the customer, just for slightly different reasons. From a supplier perspective, it's inevitable that there'll be a defect in your product or service occasionally. Having clearly defined warranty obligations makes it clear when you're responsible to fix a defect. Reducing the grey area, which refers to the area in which it's uncertain if you're responsible or not, also reduces the number of difficult conversations that you need to have with customers and potentially improves the customer experience. It also makes it easier to estimate how often you'll have a defect and how much it'll cost you to fix. You can then add a sensible contingency into the price of your product so that defects are less likely to destroy your profit. In contrast, customers like clearly defined warranties that oblige a supplier to deliver the product or service that the customer expected when entering into the deal. In other words, if there's a problem, then the supplier commits to fix it. Let's look at a practical example together. Normally Reliable Product Limited, or NRP for short, signs a contract with Quick to Claim Customer Limited, or QCC for short, with a 12-month warranty period. There's a defect in NRP's product after 11 months, which they repair. 12 months later, so we're talking about 23 months after the original supply of that product, QCC claims there's a different defect that NRP must repair. So what could go right for the supplier in this situation? If it's a good warranty clause from the supplier's perspective, then when the supplier repaired the defect after 11 months, then any extension of the warranty would only apply to the part of the product that had the defect and was repaired. In other words, the warranty for the remaining non-defective part of the product would expire after the original 12-month period. So when the customer makes another claim 12 months later, that being 23 months after the original supply of the product, then the question is if the defect relates to the original defect that was repaired or to something else. If the defect relates to something else, then the supplier can say, "Unfortunately, customer, you had a 12-month warranty for the product as a whole, and that's expired. The new defect does not relate to the original one, and so the warranty doesn't apply." Let's look at what could go wrong for the supplier now. If the warranty clause isn't carefully worded from a supplier's perspective, it could mean that the defect after 11 months and its subsequent repair resulted in the 12-month warranty period starting again for the entire product. This type of warranty is sometimes referred to as an evergreen warranty. So if the customer makes their claim after 23 months, then the supplier could be obliged to repair that new defect. Now let's look at a sample clause and some key considerations together. And firstly, to the warranty clause. Supplier warrants that the work, which could be to supply a product or a service, will be in accordance with this agreement. This clause assumes that the agreement sets out certain standards for the product or service. For example, that the product is fit for its intended purpose, provided that customer informs supplier promptly of any defect that occurs within 12 months, or whatever time frame you choose, from delivery. This might be from delivery of a product, from customer's acceptance of it, or from completion of works. Then supplier shall repair or replace the work. Supplier shall not repair or replace defects due to normal wear and tear or from misuse. The first point that I'd like to highlight is the importance of the customer having to inform the supplier about a defect promptly. The reason is simple. If a defect isn't fixed, then it could get worse and make it more expensive to repair. Secondly, there are exclusions that explain when the warranty will not apply. In this example, the warranty doesn't apply to normal wear and tear, which is a common position. In other words, if a customer uses a product in the normal way but a lot more than is usual, and that product consequently has a defect, then the warranty might not apply. Similarly, if a customer or a third party misuses the product or uses it in a way that's different to the intended purpose, then the warranty might not apply to any subsequent defect. And the warranty clause continues. Supplier's warranty obligations expire not later than 18 months, or whatever period you choose, from the first delivery, acceptance, or completion. The drafting of this clause avoids having an evergreen warranty and means that if there is a defect, which might be followed by a second or even a third defect, then in all cases there's an absolute backstop on the warranty period of 18 months. The clause continues. This clause states the sole and exclusive remedy for a defect in the work. All warranties and conditions implied under applicable law are excluded. Now, depending on the law that governs your contract, having a sole and exclusive remedies clause can mean that a customer isn't entitled to other remedies in addition to the warranty. Other remedies could include an obligation for the supplier to pay compensation to the customer. Now let's look at your key takeaways. First things first, check if the warranty is competitive. The length and comprehensiveness of a warranty is often key to a customer's decision of which supplier to contract with. Next, consider how the length and comprehensiveness of a warranty impacts on the price. Decide if it's really desirable to push for a longer warranty. Finally, be mindful of what remedies may apply in addition to the warranty obligations in the contract. This may require you to check the position that applies under applicable law, which is something that Starlit Contracts can help you with. Feel free to get in touch through the website. If you find this video helpful, then, for a short time, you can access the entire Build the Foundation in Contracts program for free by signing up for Silver membership at starlitcontracts.com. I look forward to seeing you there.